Hi guys, I am back, and as promised, I have my college advice video for you guys today. So this is kind of like my freshman college advice and kind of what I learned coming into college. And if you didn't see my previous college video, I was the first person to go to college really of my family. My sibling, my brother is younger than me, my parents, my dad, like I said, my dad didn't go to college, my mom went to community college. I did have some friends that went to college, but they weren't super close to me, so I didn't, ask them like how is it or what to expect or stuff like that. So I'm just going to give you guys a few advice. Actually, I have like a list that I made on my phone, and it's kind of long, so hopefully we can get through this pretty fast. So the first thing I have on here is don't be afraid that you won't make friends. When I first moved in, I was terrified that I was not going to make any friends and that the people here won't be as fun or stuff like that as my friends at home, and that's definitely not true. I wouldn't say I'm a shy person, but I wouldn't say I'm the most outgoing person ever, and I definitely made a lot of friends. And like from my experience, the first week of school, you're friends with everybody, like literally everybody on your floor, everybody you meet, you introduce yourself to, and everybody's so nice. And I just think it's because people are also afraid that they're not going to make friends, so they're just super nice, and everybody just hangs out together, and that usually lasts, at least for me, it lasted like only a week. And then after that, it kind of like evens out, and you start hanging out with the people that are actually going to be your friends. So it starts to even out, and you kind of get closer with the people that are going to end up being your friends, and the other people just become kind of acquaintances. They're still nice, and you'll still see them in the hallway, and you'll still say hi and stuff like that, but it definitely kind of weeds out who you're going to be really close friends with and who you're not going to be really close friends with. But I have not had a bad experience here at all with friends. Everybody has been so nice. There's no burned bridges. Like, there's been no drama, no fights, no nothing. So yeah, just don't be afraid that you're not going to make friends, because that is definitely not going to happen. So the next thing I have on here is being open-minded to your roommate. So actually for my college, they set up a Facebook group, and everybody, all the freshmen, like over the summer before college started, I got to talk and stuff, and there was a lot of people that met people on there and decided those people are going to be their roommates. I didn't want to do that. I was going to either do random, because you have a choice of having a random roommate, or there was orientation, and I was just going to see, who I hung out with orientation and what kind of people I met there. And I actually met my roommate at orientation, and we got along so great. We hung out like basically the entire time. And it was kind of like asking somebody on a date, because at orientation we didn't solidify that we wanted to be roommates, but like after we exchanged phone numbers, and then after I was like, Mom, should I text Katie and like ask her to be my roommate? And then I was so nervous she was gonna say no, but I texted her and she's like, yeah, I was gonna ask you the same thing. And I was like, okay, good, so it's definitely easy to sort of find a roommate, either orientation, if there's some sort of social media group or something like that. If not, you can always do random, and usually works out pretty well. There's a lot of people here that did random, and it worked out fine. If not, you do have, at least at my school, you have an opportunity to switch roommates halfway through the school year, so you have to stay with your roommate for all the first semester, and then you get to kind of like figure out if you can switch over the second semester. And there were a few people that did that, and I think that also worked out well for them. There is something called mediation, so I guess if you're a roommate and you don't really get along that well, or there's issues, you can go through mediation and kind of work those issues out. Yeah, I haven't had to do that, so I don't really know. But just be open-minded to your roommate. It's not going to be the same as living by yourself. It's not going to be the same as home. So don't go into it with huge expectations. I mean, of course, if your roommate is super rude, or they just don't respect your personal space or your stuff, I mean, that's an issue, and you should tell your RA, or you should tell your director of your building or something like that. But definitely keep an open mind when it comes to roommates. Okay, so next I just kind of want to talk about like homesickness, I guess, or crying. When I first moved in, or actually all summer, I thought I was going to be a mess when I moved in. I thought that I was going to cry when my parents left. I mean, not because, I mean, I've been away from my parents multiple times. I've gone on vacations by myself. I've gone to Europe by myself without my parents. Like, I'm not super attached to my parents as much as I love them, but I just thought it'd be sad to be not living with them or my brother anymore. And so I was totally expecting to lose it, and I teared up slightly when I had to say goodbye to my dog, but then they dropped me off here and I was fine. I did not cry. I mean, I might have felt slightly sad, but it doesn't feel real almost when they drop you off. And also everything is so new, and at least at my school we had a welcome weekend planned for us, and we literally had an event to be at every hour of the first 2 days we were here. It was ridiculous. It was exhausting, but I definitely think it helps keep your mind off of missing your family and stuff like that. So I definitely thought I was going to be emotional, but I wasn't. And I never got homesickness all of first semester, and the only time I got homesickness so far is when I came back from winter break. It was the first weekend I was here in the spring semester, and I heard a song that me and my brother used to sing together, and I cried. Like that, I cried. I was so homesick that weekend, and that was literally the first time I felt homesick, like really, really homesick. I mean, of course, I'd be sitting here and be like, oh, I miss my dog, or I miss my family, or I miss my friends, but that was like the first time I was actually homesick. So you might be surprised. You might think that you're not going to be homesick at all, and you might get here and you might be a mess, or you might be like me and you think that you're going to be a mess and you're not. So I just kind of want to tell you guys just to be prepared for that. And then the next thing I have on here is just to bring flip-flops. I forgot to pack flip-flops to shower in. I don't know. I mean, nobody ever told me this, you know? Nobody ever said bring flip-flops to shower in. And so I had to shower for the first couple days without flip-flops, but luckily I only live an hour away from home, so my mom just came and brought me some flip-flops. And if she hadn't, I could have just gone to the stores around here and got flip-flops. But yeah, just make sure you bring flip-flops because you're gonna need them. You don't want to shower in a shower that everybody else has been showering in without flip-flops. The next thing I have on here is sleeping is rough. So I'm laughing at that, but it's really not funny. It actually kind of bothers me. I mean, not like in a horrible way, but it's definitely something important to me. So the mattresses are not comfortable really at all. I have 2 pads on my mattress, and it's still not as comfortable as my bed at home, which of course it's not going to be, but it's just takes a little getting used to. I woke up for like the first 2 weeks of being here and my back hurts so bad, and my roommate's back hurts so bad too, and it's just the bed. It's literally just the bed. So that's a little rough. It takes a little getting used to, but after the 2-week mark, I think your body just kind of gets used to it, and I don't really wake up with a sore back now. I mean, I do every once in a while, but not usually. And then also it tends to be a little loud at night. I mean, I go to bed anywhere between 10:30 and midnight on an average day. I mean, I do have 8 a.m. classes. I have 9 a.m. classes, so I try to go to bed pretty early. It can be a little loud. Like, everything in this dorm echoes everything. There'll be somebody all the way on the other end of this hallway, and I will hear it in my room like it is right, like these people are right next to me. It is so loud. It is literally ridiculously loud. And we do have quiet hours here. I think quiet hours on the weekdays are from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So you're supposed to be as quiet as possible in the hallways. You're not supposed to blast music, stuff like that. You're not supposed to scream, which you may think that that's common sense, but it's not. People here do those things. People here literally will scream and blast music and skateboard in the hallway. Like, what is this shit? Are these people 5 years old? I don't know, but it happens. And usually people are pretty good about it. There's some times where it's not the best. And then on weekends, it's midnight to 7 a.m. So people have a lot longer time to be noisy, I guess, and you just have to deal with it. The people above me are so loud. It literally sounds like they're dropping bowling balls on the floor constantly. I don't understand how they make that noise. I literally don't understand. And they tend to blast music every once in a while, like really loud. Like last night it was like until 1 o'clock in the morning. And at that time you have to tell your RA. You have to tell the RA on duty, and they'll go up there and they'll tell them to be quiet. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes I feel bad saying something, but it's really benefiting me, and it's benefiting everybody else, because I'm sure there's multiple people that are trying to sleep when that noise is happening. So There's that, and you're always going to have to deal with people on the weekends, especially coming back at 4 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're loud because they're drunk, and that's just going to happen. Usually that's not too bad, but it does happen. But I guess my biggest advice is just to kind of deal with it and find ways to fall asleep on your own. I have a fan that I put on for a little white noise. I have earplugs, which I actually have in this drawer, so I'll show you. I just get them from Walmart. I have some earplugs. I don't use them every night. If it's a quiet night, I don't need them, but if it's a loud night, I definitely throw them in. Sometimes I throw some earbuds in and listen to some music while I'm trying to fall asleep. It's just, you really, really just have to do what's best for you. Try to fall asleep, and if the noise gets ridiculous, I guarantee that there are 10 other people in the dorm that think the noise is ridiculous too. They're just too afraid to say something. So if the noise is really bad, go say something to the RA. The next thing I have on here is don't lock yourself out of your room naked. It may sound a little ridiculous, but it definitely happens. It's happened to me multiple times. You usually want to keep your door locked as much as possible because you just don't know what people are doing in this dorm. I mean, I live at a great college and a great dorm, but there are just some people that I'd be afraid would come in my room and take something or do other things. I don't know. So always want to keep your door locked, and sometimes you'll forget your keys when you go take a shower and your roommate is not there, and then you come back to your room and you're in your towel or your bathrobe and you go to open your door and it doesn't open, and then you're like, shit, what do I do now? So that's happened to me twice, and it's happened to so many other people here. Like, it happens every single day. And you just have to find a friend to go downstairs for you, or you have to go downstairs in your row by yourself, and you have to fill out a little form about why you don't have your key and what happened to it, which usually is no big deal because you'll just say it's in my room and I forgot it, and then somebody has to come up and unlock your door for you. So yeah, that has happened, but it's just such an inconvenience, and it's like literally the most heart-sinking feeling when you go to open the door and it's locked and you're literally in a towel. Like, it is not fun. So advice, keep your keys on you, or make sure your room is unlocked before you leave, especially if your roommate is not there at that moment. The next thing I have on here, I feel like is super cliche, and when everybody says it, I'm like, no, like, I don't think that it's that important, but I have found it to be pretty important. So get involved and join clubs or some sort of group activity, anything like that. I'm actually only in one club right now, but I did apply to be a peer mentor, which is something I won't get into right now, but it is an organization type of thing. I actually just got into the National Honor Society for this college too. So I have that. It's just good to have something to do, first of all. It's good to put on resumes, and it's good to meet new people, and it's good to, what was the last thing I was going to say? Oh, if you need reference letters for scholarships or anything like that, it's good to have some people that can write that for you. So there's that. I also have on here to set a schedule for yourself, there's a lot of free time in college, so definitely set a schedule for yourself, work it around your class times. For me, I know my class times, and I'll set a schedule for when I'm doing homework that day, when I'm working out that day, when I'm eating that day, what time I plan to go to bed, if there's any TV shows on that night that I want to watch, just things like that, because keeping yourself on schedule is the best thing you can do, because honestly, I could come here, I have an 8 a.m. class on Thursday, which ends at 9:15, and I could come here and lay in my bed all day long until my 3:30 class. So and it's easy to do that. It is so easy to just lay in your bed and not do anything and watch YouTube and watch TV and stuff like that, but that's not realistic because you have other things to do. You have homework to do, you have to work out, you have to eat and stuff like that. So definitely set a schedule, because if you don't, you will get lost in your free time. And then also, sometimes it feels like your free time is lasting forever. Especially on weekends, it feels like I'm here for forever. So definitely plan things. That's why being in a club is good, because you have set days where you go someplace, or if you're volunteering, you have a set day for volunteering, and you have things to do. So definitely set a schedule for yourself. Like on Fridays, I don't try to do a lot of homework because I know I'll have free time on Saturdays and Sundays to fill up, and I want to do some homework on those days. So set a schedule, make the best of your free time. Sometimes there's time to take naps, and sometimes you need those naps because people are so loud at night. So definitely just plan your day out. And it's not like you have to be all Erin Condren planner on this, but just, you know, plan it out. All right, we're almost there. I think I have 2 more things on here. Okay, so the next thing I have on here is to just stay clean and neat. This is my side of the room. This is my roommate's side of the room. She doesn't have this closet. She actually has like a armoire type thing, which you'll see if you watch my dorm tour video. You just want to stay neat because honestly, nobody likes a dirty roommate. Nobody likes a not organized roommate. Nobody likes that. I'm telling you right now, nobody likes it. And also on top of that, everybody will be in your room. Literally everybody will come in your room at one point or another, and you want it to look nice. There will be your friends in the dorms that come in your room. There's their friends from other dorms that come in your room. There's your RA that will come in your room. There's your friends that will come in your room. There's random ass people in the hallway that will come in your room, like if they're friends with somebody and then you come in and they come in to watch TV, or they come in to hang out, or they come in to see what your room looks like. I mean, there will always be people in your room, so just make sure it looks good, because if it's not, nobody wants to walk in a room and be like, oh, this is how this person lives. Like, it's not neat, it's not clean. And also you don't want to be the roommate that is not organized and not clean. So that's my advice on that. And then lastly, I have on here, be prepared for the food to fuck you up. And I am not exaggerating on that. When I came here for one of the sleepovers I did just to like visit this college, the girl I stayed with was like, just so you know, the food here is great, but it will mess with your stomach and everything. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm not, whatever. And then I came here and it happened, and I was like, that girl was right, and she was right. And I mean, my school is great food. Number 1 or 2 in the ranked for food in the SUNY school system. So it has really good food, and the food tastes great, and it's really good, but something about it just messes with my insides, and it happens with a lot of people here. I don't know if it's the water or how they prepare the food. I mean, honestly, I don't know, because it's like, I'll eat a salad, which I know is lettuce and salad dressing and like some other things that isn't even prepared by them, and it still messes with me. And I don't know if it's because of the water, or I just don't know. I think maybe it's because it's a different area than where I'm from and where I live, and it just, I mean, everybody here, it'll mess with you, and it, you know, it makes my stomach make weird noises. It makes you have gas. I mean, maybe this is TMI, but it's just not pleasant. And it usually happens like the first week or so that I'm here, week or 2, and then after that my stomach kind of gets used to it, and then I'll go home and I'll be fine, and then I'll come back here and it'll happen for the next 2 weeks, and then I'll be fine, and then I'll go home. It's just like a cycle, you know. Or if I spend even just a weekend at home, if I go home from Saturday to Sunday and I come back here, it will mess with me. I mean, not as extreme, but for a day it'll be there, and it's not always fun. So yeah, I guess that's everything I have for you guys, all the advice and tips and stuff that I can really recommend for incoming freshmen. I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!